Alrighty.
What up? Okay, we live, Q.
Alrighty, what up?
Hello, everybody, if there's anybody.
What's up, y'all? You doing?
So, Q, do you don't happen to know anybody to share the link to the group, do you?
All I need to do is just simply highlight that link and copy it. Oh, it's already it's uploaded on the Messenger.
All right, cool. All right, well, here we go. Well, this is the first time I'm doing anything like this, people, so bear with me. It's a learning experience, but
a little rusty, but still.
So we got the great Q here, and hopefully next time I do this, we'll have some intros and some video and all that cool stuff. But today we're going raw dog today.
Yeah, we're going live and kicking.
So what you working on, Q?
Working on She-Hulk, but right now I'm doing the doing little inking a process. I add some few little bit of highlights, lowlights. Just a while ago, I did some highlights at the at She-Hulk's eye, around the iris. So I used the old poster from the Rec Room of the Dream as references. I thought, hey, let me add some little bit of experimentation, add a little highlights. And guess what? Boom! It blew my mind. It works.
It looks good. So let me see. How do I make you bigger? Do you know how to do that?
Oh, you mean embiggenate?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that it? Oh, I broke the whole thing.
Oh, dang it. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Got there. Oh, let's see some images. I see yours.
That's me.
Huh. Both of us. Yep.
That's big.
So what you working on, Saf?
I am working on pages for the next book. That will be. I'm on page 26 right now, doing some finishing touches on the background. But this book is hopefully going to go live before the end of the month. Well, by the middle of this month. It was supposed to be last month, but I still have not received the books from the printer yet. So I didn't want to start this campaign until I was fulfilled. So hopefully by the middle of this month, we'll be all good.
Gotcha.
But that's gotcha. This one's going to be relatively a lot quicker to fulfillment once it starts than the previous two because I have a nice head start on it. And I think I should be able to get the final issue of this 3-part series out by the holiday season this year.
But before the 4th of July.
No, this one will be fulfilled over the summer, and then hopefully the next one I'll have enough of it done so I can campaign for it around like Christmas and stuff. Well, before Christmas, I want to start around Thanksgiving with the campaign. That way, fulfillment will be around February.
Okay.
Of the following year. Next year, I have a big project. It's a one-off story I've been working on that's going to fill a void between this trilogy and the next one. And then after that comes out, I'm going to put one of those out each year for 3 years because I have 3. It's a 3-parter, but it's big. And then I'm going to be putting out the next trilogy for my superhero part of the universe in between. So it should be one part of the big story and then 2 parts of the other story each year.
Okay.
It's a little.
So it's not a really.
You'll see.
So it's not an origin story. It's just a follow-up of what's happening, things like that.
Well, my comic universe, the actual continuity universe, is going to be done in each character is going to get a 3-book story arc, and then but this other story I'm doing doesn't take place in my universe. It's just a one-off story I want to do, but it's big. It's like an epic format type thing. So it's going to be 3 oversized books, 3 parts, and I want to do 1 part a year while doing superhero books as well, my universe books. So my plan is to put out 2 books that take place in my universe, and one of those for the next 3 years.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, that sounds big.
the big book, I'm really happy with the story and the characters and the way it came to be and the way it fleshed out. So that's something I plan on making like a movie, or pitching it for a movie at least when it's done, and hopefully get some traction with it.
Okay. Which
Yeah.
studios? Don't know. Possibly
I'm not even
Netflix
there yet.
or Amazon.
I just want to focus on the story and putting it out. And if it comes out as good as I hope it's gonna, then maybe I can do something with it. We'll see.
We'll see.
You gotta dream big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I guess nobody else is around.
Mhm.
I'm trying to figure out how to view my own show on YouTube while streaming.
It's already on YouTube, right? Or
It is. I just can't watch it. Well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to all this. I have no idea what I'm doing. If we're out there live, that's a plus right there. You know what I'm saying?
at least that.
But so I know every which way to I don't want to do that. I almost kicked you from studio by accident. How do I get? Oh, look, I did that. Oh wait, maybe
Oh, you switch around.
There we go.
Ah!
Broke it again.
I didn't pay the electric bill yet, I swear.
There we go. That city came out nice, man. I like it. I like the way you did that.
What came nice? She-Hulk or the city. Oh,
Yeah.
thanks. The last time I did is just the little highlights on the trees. The happy trees.
I don't like put a little happy tree here. It's your world.
Also did a little bit of more any green features, for example, the other trees here, and also Crom.
Yeah, the Crom. He's got some distance. I'll tell you that. No proctologist visit necessary. So I did this story, and I required a whole scene where out the big picture glass windows in the back, I wanted to put a cityscape. And this is when knowing your geography really and where cities are really helps out, because I centralized the story in a place where there is no city skylines. It's all desert, and I need a city skyline. So I had to move them to Phoenix, because it's the closest city skyline to where they were. Because as you can see, no one can see because I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. I'll leave this one. So back here behind my characters, these are big plate glass windows, and through the windows you're going to see the Phoenix skyline. So, or my rendition of the Phoenix skyline. So that should be interesting.
That's cool. There's some any particular reference with city skylines. Even I've never been to a certain location. For example, the San Francisco. Never been to San Francisco. But I did a few shots that's not automatically say, "Hey, that's San Francisco." Just a little bit of a bit of a place that I've never seen, or what's that location, things like that, just to make it a little unknown.
I'll tell you.
One
of the reasons I want to put like somewhat noticeable areas is because So I'm from New York, and I watch a lot of movies, and they all claim to be taking place in New York. But when I
Yeah.
watch it, I'm like, oh, they're over here. Oh, wait a minute, that building isn't over there. Oh man, they screwed it all up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to put recognizable stuff if I'm using an actual point of origin for these things. That
Mm.
people that might be from there, if they ever see it, they'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's really there, whatever. But so with the scenery I'm doing now, the one thing that if someone from Phoenix ever was to look at this would say is, okay, that's nice. That's the skyline. But where are they? Because where they're standing, there are no buildings.
Uh,
So I'm making a fictitious building exist inside Phoenix, which is what you do in
okay.
comics, right?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, there's no Avengers Tower in real life.
Nah, of course not.
Although there should be.
What I did, what I did for the Black Panther, for example, even though it takes place in Wakanda, there's there's so many references about the any particular African skylines, for example, and any known African city. So I picked some random real life city that
Right.
takes place in Central Africa. The only place that's almost close to the water levels, like in New York or Los Angeles. Well, not really Los Angeles, but New York, Miami. Those features are in some African cities called what's the name of that place? I think it's Kigali or some. I think it's Kigali or any particular from cities that it takes place in Central Africa. So I picked that as a reference. I thought,
Oh, damn.
mhm.
Sorry about that. Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself.
All right. What the heck is that Black Panther thing? I think I've seen. Ah, there it is. Just a sec. There you go.
That's
Like
nice.
this part here, all made up with a bunch of random buildings and any particular geometric shapes are partially based on the actual city in Africa. Even though it takes place Wakanda, but it's took some references from coastal African cities. So there it is.
Yeah, I like the way that came out too. That's nice. I like the triptych form you did. Who's the character in the left?
The character on the left was it's a these two are villains of well known of Black Panther. This one is priest goes by the name of priest Ache, which is
Okay,
basically the Joker to Batman. Well, it's basically the Joker to basically the Black Panther's version of the Joker to Batman.
gotcha.
And the one above is Mumbaku. Also in comics, they call him Man Ape.
All right,
Hmm.
nice.
Yep, it's pretty neat. Even I didn't know anything about Black Panther comics lore, but then I did a little bit of research. I thought, okay, I've seen that one in the movies. I need to take a look in the comics version.
Yeah.
So it's
No, it came out good. It amazes me how much detail you pack into such a small area. I wouldn't. That's
thanks,
too small. I wouldn't be able to do that.
but it takes
I
a
mean,
lot of patience.
it's not that it's like if you really zoom in, it's not a huge amount of detail. It's not like you didn't draw all the windows or anything like that. But you've done such a good job with it that as you're looking at it like this, you can tell that that's a really busy city. It's so it's good. Like, I would look at
Thank
that
you.
if I wanted to draw something that small in the city skyline. I'd be like, yeah, this is going to be a silhouette.
Lots of cross hatching. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Lots of cross hatching. Hatchet, cross hatching. That's the secret ingredients.
So if anyone wants to know why it takes Q so long, it's because he's insane.
And this was between genius and insanity. It's measured only by success.
I like that one, the
But
Ghost Rider.
yeah, The Ghost Rider is pretty neat, especially inspired from the Thing, John Carpenter's Thing.
Yeah.
It takes place in Texas, and
I'm partial because of the storefront. Yeah.
yeah, Zappos Cafe. Feeling thirsty? Feeling hungry? Try Zappos Cafe.
It's it fits right in line with my luck though. I got my own cafe, and then here comes this guy, and he burns the whole damn city down. Business is not booming, I gotta tell you. I like that too. So on the opposite side of that page, are those like you working out something, or is that something you're going to do in the future?
The opposite side of this page would be it shows the characters of um, the main characters, who the supporting characters, who's the bad guys. What I'm showing previously is all of these characters. What I'm showing, for example, I give you one good example. This is for Daredevil, right here. This is for Daredevil, and when I turn the page, you see who's the heroes involved, and those three are the bad guys, and on the other side, the opposite side would be the supporting characters. For example, Smoky Dell, Karen Page, etc. And another good example is Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man on one side, and when you turn the page, you see who's the unmasked version of Spider-Man, who's the bad guys.
I like
here. Norman Osborn, Venom, Lizard, Dr. Octopus, and those are the supporting characters.
Right.
All inspired from that one Pacific magazine, The Wizard.
I like that one. I remember seeing that page right there with the character design.
Oh, this one is for Miss Marvel, not the Kamala Marvel, but the old school Carol Danvers Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I like it.
And yeah, and then turn the page. You see, that's the costume for Carol Danvers. I mean, think about it: a chick in space without any of those oxygen or so. What the heck? So give her a full mask for protection in space. So
they only thought about that in the movie.
But the only thing is, it's a little tuft of hair.
Yeah,
sticking out of the mask. Even if it's that in space, so I mean, if you leave a hair sticking out of space, first off,
it would just freeze and shatter.
There you go. So around this, so what's around? So there's a bunch of notes of the storylines and notes. This will be the bad guys on one side, and the unmasked version of Carol Danvers and the supporting characters. But all of this would be would be in was a clean up version, because every time I colored, it leaves a few spots at the back. So I thought I'd add a thicker page, glue, paste it, and redrawn. But first things first, I'll have to photograph it.
Right.
And then, otherwise, I'll go, what's this? What's that? Things like that. So after this would be Blade, and then afterwards would be a clean slate for the opposite side of the page. So,
how much more do you have in this book? You got a lot of stuff in this book, right?
Only this book. That's it.
Really?
Uh-huh.
So how much more do you have before that book is finished? Is it a big book?
How much?
Like how many pages you got left?
It's only only the first few pages here, basically bunch of one side it says individual heroes and a team of heroes, and the next step would be what the villains would look like, what the bad guys design would look like.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be, and we have short list.
Nice.
It will take a while. But on a separate side, there's a bunch of notebooks bunch of notes I made of what the characters would look like based on a certain celebrities.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, so you're gonna be using like characters, like real people for reference to portray these characters.
Something like that. I mean, for example, everybody knows of who Iron Man looks like, and there
Right.
in that universe, everybody knows that it was Robbie. It kind of looks like Robert Downey Jr. I thought, I ain't gonna use that. I don't know. Use the alternative side. If, let's just say, if he's not available, who will be replaced? I don't know. Maybe in the older magazines, they'll say, "Let's put Tom Cruise as Iron Man, and let's put this one." I thought, uh. Then I would thought, why not George Clooney as Iron Man? I thought, what the fuck?
You know what you should do? You should make every villain man Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, everyone, chill.
Like everybody wants to see like Arnold Schwarzenegger Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna rip the metal out of your body. Yeah.
Precious metal. Oh, that's good.
Get to the chopper so I can crush you in it.
Where are the other guys?
Where's that little kid that told me it was a tumor?
It's not a tumor.
I got your tumor here, kid.
Tumor. And it's a peacemaker.
Hey, look, and just like that, we have the Phoenix skyline.
Oh, nice.
Quick blue line, and then I'm going to go in and finish it up. I have 5 more pages of this story to finish up. Everything is lined out like this.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
So if you can tell here, I finished the top 3.
Uh-huh.
Now, because I'm doing everything myself and I'm working with a colorist, what I've decided I'm going to do, and some people might not like this, but I really don't care, is in a situation like this, I've drawn the characters, I've designed the layout, I've put it all together. I'm not going to sit here and waste a day's worth of my time drawing bricks in back here.
No.
So we're going to use a texture template on certain things like that throughout the books. Like there's going to be the colorist will put in, you know, a brick pattern on that wall, or a cinder block or stone pattern on that wall. And I do the same thing with floor tiles, rugs, stuff like that. Because if this was the only thing I did was to pencil a book for someone else, then I'd have time to do it. But since I'm writing, drawing, creating, and then doing all the publishing side stuff and all that stuff, I just don't have the time.
In short, ain't got no time for that.
Was that?
In short, ain't got no time for that.
But I will do skylines. I will do all that stuff as backgrounds. I do all the interior backgrounds like desks and computers and all the little knickknacks. It's just texturing. Texturing I'm not going to mess with. Oh, we got someone cool backstage.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Les, I wasn't paying attention. What's going on? What's going on?
Just got back from doing Sunday afternoon shopping with the wife, so.
All right.
Run to Sam's Club, get some groceries and all that, and I'm pulling some stuff up in Clip Studio here, just because might as well. What you guys been up to today?
Just drawing. Les, your mic's breaking up a lot.
Is my mic being a bastard again?
Do you have it sounds like you have is the YouTube muted?
It should be. Yeah, I don't have YouTube up. I'm just in here with the StreamYard. Check.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is that better?
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep muting myself because my dog's going insane.
My stuff worked great until about 2 weeks ago when we had a power outage, and everything came back up, and it's been stupid crap ever since.
Oh, had a power outage.
Yeah, we're in the middle of storm season here, so.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Thunderstorm.
where I live at, I'm kind of out in the country between two towns. There's Mayfield to the south of me and Paducah to the north of me. And every year about this time, we get really bad wind and storms. And they had 5 tornadoes touch down just the other side of Paducah 3 days ago.
Oh shoot!
Yeah. So, and then you get the tornadoes, and then after the tornadoes will come the floods. So there's like a route that I normally take to go into town to get stuff, go shopping or whatever. And yesterday, I had to reroute myself 3 different times because every different route that I would take, I'd get to a point where the road was closed for flooding. So, yeah, that's I guess one of the probably the one downside to rural life out here. But the upsides are such that I'll take it. I'll take it any day. Because I have no intention of ever living in a city again.
Screw those cities.
Dude, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I grew up out in the country where I didn't have indoor plumbing until I was 11 years old. And
What?
yeah, I didn't have indoor plumbing until I was 11 years old.
Damn.
So and I left Eastern Kentucky when I was 19 and moved back when I was 45. And was glad to move back. And then I traded up Eastern Kentucky for Western Kentucky 3 years ago. So that's where I'm at right now, is in the western tip of Kentucky. So like 40 minutes north of me is Illinois, and 45 minutes south of me is Tennessee. So like I've got Illinois, Missouri, and Tennessee all right around me. It's actually a great place to live because like the town that's right to my north is just the other side of the river from Paducah is Metropolis, Illinois. It's the it's kind of the home of Superman stuff. They got all kinds of cool stuff there. It's a fun place.
Oh.
Yeah, they do the big. They have a big citywide thing every summer called the Superman Celebration. This little town, of I don't know how, it's a tiny little town. I mean, it's like it's real small, and it grows by some amount. I know they have like just walking down Main Street, they clocked about 30,000 people last year.
Wow.
So there are businesses and family businesses in that town. That's literally what they live on. Like they build up all year for that festival, and then make their money, and then sit on it and build up for the following year. So it's kind of neat that that there's a whole town that I've heard people call it Comic Book City because a lot of stuff there. It's hilarious because the city's Chamber of Commerce hates it. They really wish they had something going on other than that, but it's like, dude, y'all got a casino, weed, and Superman. Just accept it. This is who you are. Casino, weed, Superman.
Embrace it.
Yeah. So,
Casino, weed, Superman.
One of the things that I'm working on right now is I was friends with Jim Hambrick, the guy who founded the Superman Museum. That's like the official Superman museums. Got all kinds of connections to DC and shit like that. And his daughter and I are really good friends. And he actually just passed away. He passed away on the anniversary of my father's death. And I'm working on a one-shot comic that's a biography of him that hopefully will have it done in time for them to debut it at the Superman celebration this year.
Oh, that sounds nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. His family, I mean, him and his daughter Morgan played a big role in me coming here, and they've been a big help to me in a number of ways with career stuff. So, you know, it's just one of those little things. They're good people. And he and I both suffered a stroke right around the same time.
Oh, wow.
And one of the first public appearances that I did after my stroke was Superman Celebration over there. And there were so many weird little back and forth connections with that stuff that, you know, it's you know, there's just something, there's a real tight bond I've got with these people. So anyway, yeah, Metropolis is pretty cool.
Man, that's
I'm always self-promoting, so always promoting. I've got a bunch of crap going down this week. One big thing going down this week. Have you guys seen? I've been showing stuff from it on my weekly, on the Comics Artist Hour that I do, you know, on Pops Network. This thing I've been doing called Brides.
I never saw it.
Let me throw a little presentation thing in the window here and pull up some of the covers to it. And these are like traditional airbrush paintings for these covers. So let's see if this will let me do this way. Go. So I'm going to share these here in Clip Studio. So there's the A cover. Crack that open. These things are huge because I work at stupid high resolution. So
Wow.
So there you go. Come on,
That looks
keep
nice,
zooming.
man.
Keep zooming. There we go. So the premise of the book boiled down to its cheesiest nutshell, which doesn't do the story justice, is to say, what if the Bride of Frankenstein sought out the Bride's Dracula to get him to make her a vampire?
Nice.
Uh-huh.
So that's like the high speed slug for the book is that it's got
So
a
wait,
lot
those are the two.
going on to it. What's that?
Those are the two brides and the two offspring. Is that what that is?
No, it's the three brides of Frankenstein,
Oh,
or
all
three
right.
brides of Dracula, and the one you see with the stitches, that's the Bride of Frankenstein.
These are amazing illustrations, guys.
Thanks, dude. These are 11 by 17 airbrush on the illustration board.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, Zap, we got backstage.
Who we got? Oh, here it is. What up, Jim?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Jim
Beautiful
O'Reilly.
illustrations up on the screen.
Hello.
They are.
There you go. Let me reach over here and pop another one of these up here. I love this one. This one's an homage to the movie poster of the Lost Boys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that movie. Let's see. Let's just do it this way. Pull this over here.
Am I echoing?
No, I think there's an echo. I think it might be on Les's side because
Okay.
It's probably on my side. My audio has been janky for a couple of weeks, and I never have the time to sit down and just bust everything apart and rebuild it and iron it out.
I think
Are these digitally painted or traditionally and then brought in digitally?
No, it's airbrush on the illustration board.
Beautiful.
Les, do you have an independent mic, or are you using the computer?
This is actually a studio mic running through an audio interface, which is why I don't understand why it's doing this shit, because it should not be doing that.
I think it's just picking up the output and sending it back.
It had a 48 hertz lift turned on. Does that make any difference when I turn that off?
Is there still an echo? No, the echo's gone.
Yeah.
Is that any better now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there was a 48 hertz boost on the audio interface that looked like was accidentally turned on. Shouldn't have been.
So Jim, welcome to the first live stream I'm doing. So you're here for the train wreck.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Am I in the cleanup crew?
But I'm gonna be. I don't know if Pops is doing away with it or whatever, but I'm gonna until I hear otherwise. I'll be doing one at this time. I'm also gonna be putting a stream out on Friday nights, like around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if anyone wants to join that as well, I'll be starting that up next weekend.
These are absolutely beautiful illustrations.
Thank you, man.
Are these going to be compiled into like a book, or are you doing a comic? Or
These are all variant covers for the book that I have launching this week.
Wow. You have any interior pages to show that you can share?
I'll get to those here in just a minute.
Yeah, gorgeous, man. Gorgeous covers.
Thank you, dude. The right now the pre-launch page on these we're up to 202 signups. 202.
You did all these covers yourself? These are yours?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on this book. I'm the writer, penciler, inker, and colorist, and cover painter.
And chief bottle washer. Got it.
Nice. Are you how are you putting this out? Are you crowdfunding this?
It'll be crowdfunded, and I hope these are verboten names on here, but they're good friends of mine. So me and Pops have had some conversations about it. So it is what it is. I'm really good friends with Mike and Mindy Wheeler.
Yeah.
And I do some work for them from time to time on the back end of things over at Divinity. And this is the first book they're putting out that's not their book. So I was talking about it one day and showed Mindy some stuff, and I've never done a crowdfund of my own. I've never ran one. I hate dealing with that kind of crap. And I was just talking about it, and she's like, we should do it. I'm like, she's like, we eventually wanted to go into publishing other books anyway, so let's do this one. I was like, cool. So yeah, it's
I mean, that's good. They have a nice fan base that can get exposed to it, so that's good.
Oh yeah. Here's this one. This piece coming up actually started as a sketch. So what I like with these kind of paintings, I will do the drawing, the layout, and the drawing, and all that kind of stuff. I'll do all of that digitally. And then I print that in like a non-photo blue on illustration boards, and then that gets airbrushed.
That's good. Yeah, smart way to work.
Because and see, part of that too is I'm 2 years and 1 month out from a double stroke.
Oh boy.
So my 2 years ago, my entire left side of my body was paralyzed. Oof. And for things that you would normally use, like French curves or straight edges, T-squares, triangles, rulers, stuff like that, that are two-handed drawing tools.
Yep.
I still can't use those.
Yeah.
And so I'll use the digital medium to compensate for that with all the tools that I have in Clip Studio.
Right. Plus the editing and everything.
Yeah. So
do you think it's what we do for a living?
What was that?
I said, do you think it's what we do for a living? I notice a lot of artists have had strokes.
It's a stressful life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the stress.
So, I mean, like if you're trying to make your living with it, it is stressful. And I've been making my living as an artist for 32 years. So
yeah. Well, it's all my father did. He was a photorealist portrait painter. He did it his whole life, and he suffered a stroke.
It's an easy thing to happen. I think physically part of it too is most of us are stuck at a desk or drawing table a lot, so our legs are up underneath us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that causes blood to pool down in your feet, and you'll get clots built up down in your extremities, and those clots will go to your brain. You have a stroke.
Jeez.
So I think it is just a hazard of the job.
I'm gonna have to put my drawing tablet on a bicycle or something.
Yeah, you should get up and walk around.
I would, before I had the stroke, I mean, I've always been very active. You know, I would go to the dojo like 2 hours a night, 5 nights a week, and I taught karate for a long time. And I was always, like, most of my free time over the last 25 years was spent doing karate and weightlifting.
Oh wow!
So, you know, so like I mean, until I had a stroke, I was a pretty damn fit dude. And the doctors were kind of baffled. They're like, "You shouldn't have had a stroke." And then they start looking at all kinds of genetic markers and things, and they're like, "Oh, this was going to happen to you no matter what."
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, Mom. Thanks,
Yeah,
Dad.
really.
yeah. Thanks, guys.
I'm in a similar boat. My mother has a blood clotting disorder.
I had no idea.
Oh wow!
What was that? What was that disorder?
My mom has had a blood clotting disorder that's genetic and passed down. So I've already had superficial blood clots in my legs. And, yeah. You know, plus veins. My veins aren't really good in my legs. And I did a lot of the same thing, martial arts and kitchen work and art. But now
I mean, some of that's probably just a hazard of raising you, right?
Yeah, probably.
The damn doctors at one point, once the doctors like talked to my wife, my son, and really got to learn my background, they straight up said karate saved my life.
Yeah.
They said if you didn't live the lifestyle you lived, this would have killed you.
Wow.
The flexibility helps with the blood flow.
Mm-hmm. That and the just the whole cardiovascular thing of that kind of exercise.
Yep.
But yeah, I was completely left side paralyzed. They told me I'd never walk again or use my left arm again. To which I say, screw you, because now I swim laps in an Olympic pool, and I've got the arm back to where I can bench press, you know, into the low hundreds, you know, like 110, 120 pounds on it. Finger dexterity on the hand isn't great yet, but it'll get there. So, you know, the doctor's full of shit about that stuff a lot of times anyway. Okay. Let me pop this up here.
Well, gentlemen, I know it's been a short one, but I promise next week it'll be longer. So I'm going to wrap things up.
Oh, shit. I was just popping up some.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Fantastic.
Is this for that? This is for that book?
Yeah, this is for brides.
Wow.
These are
I can tell Wrightson and Frazetta are influences.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Look, you met someone that puts in more detail than you.
Yeah.
What's that?
Same influences, but I can tell Wrightson and
I always give Jim shit about how much detail he packs into his pages. I'm like, man, you couldn't put some backgrounds in there or something, but he so I said, find someone that puts in that kind of detail.
What's crazy, man, is like in this particular scene, she's confronting Van Helsing about some stuff.
Right.
And the books that are on the table, like a lot of the writing on the books are just, you know, kind of greebly squiggles.
Yep.
But if you look, you'll find little spots in there where there's actual writing, and all of the actual writing you can find are Easter eggs that like give you backstory to the world building of the story.
Oh wow!
So there's like just these 2 pages that are up here side by side right now. There's I'm going to say probably between 15 and 20 Easter eggs about the background of the world spread out on those 2 pages.
Awesome.
I mean,
So, like,
you've done here exactly what before you came on I was complaining I won't do, which is, I mean, you've textured everything. You've done all the little books. You've textured the bricks. You've textured the wood. I think these 2 pages that are showing right now, if I drew those to that detail, I'd retire and lose my mind.
dude, I actually do about 4 of these a day.
Damn.
Yeah.
And these are full size, 11x17?
What's that?
You draw these at full size, or are these digitally drawn?
This book I'm doing digitally because I want to get it done quick, but it's still, I mean, like the pages are 11x17, 600 DPI, and I'm on one of the big 27-inch Cintiq tablets, so I'm actually working at scale.
Wow.
I would just make a suggestion, Les, of like some of your dramatic pages or pages that bring in a character. Blue line your pencils, print them out digitally, and then ink them traditionally, so you have some original art to sell along with the book.
On some of the other projects that I'm on right now, I've done that. Like there's a book that I'm doing called Oz, A Nightmare in Emerald. It's a horror Oz, and it's all traditional pages. And with it, I'm doing blue lines digital and then printing them and inking them.
Right.
So
yeah, at least you have like a.
Yeah, I mean, I do that just with Brides. It's funny because Brides came together as a project so fast, and that it was just like, man, I'm just gonna get in here and knock this out, and I'm actually loving it. I mean, I'm having a good time with it. And I'm finding myself a little less stressed by doing it digital, and that's kind of cool. And you know, I like having originals for people, you know, because sometimes you can sell originals and stuff. Yeah. But I typically don't sell that many of my originals, so I'm just like, you know, screw it. Just get the book out there.
Well, it could also be like a tier that you put on your Indiegogo or Kickstarter or whatever, that you say, hey, an original.
I've done that before. And I'll tell you what, because I have Mike and Mindy are doing all the fulfillment for me.
Right.
I am admittedly really, really, really damn shitty about not going to the post office. Like where I live, I gotta drive. Yeah. I gotta take time away from the shop. And I gotta drive, and like it's like a half-day affair for me to make a trip to the post office where I live. So I'm just like, really? I'm like, fuck it. You know, it's like, if you want these originals, you want some physical originals from me, catch me at a show. Because I'm actually interviewing an assistant. I think I'm going to be having an assistant start probably toward the end of this coming week. So some of that may change once I've got somebody else I can delegate stuff to.
Yeah.
So. But
yeah, that would be like some beautiful pieces, like that one piece where she's coming down the stair. I think I think that would have made a nice original piece to sell.
How many pages is this going to be?
40. I think it's around 44 pages.
And how long do you think before? How long do you think before you go to run the campaign for it?
Campaign starts Wednesday.
Sweet.
Campaign starts Wednesday. Colors are already be done on it because I'm doing the colors myself. I think I've got like a couple pages started and open here, but the rate that I do the stuff at is perfectly fine for me to to handle that. So let's see, is that it? Let's see. Let me see if I can get this one open here. Yeah. So here you can see the first 2 pages of colors.
Oh wow.
Nice. Looks great, man. Looks like a great book.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that finish.
It's nice for me because it's a bit of an evolution from the first like creator-owned book that I put out. It's been a couple of years. Back in 2020, my first creator-owned book called Apocalypse Girl came out, and on that one, I was a writer, penciler, inker, letter, colorist, and cover painter. So, I mean, it was like everything. I even had some collectibles I did that I sculpted for it. Because outside of comics, I was a technical director in the 3D industries for 20 plus years. So I've worked in like film and animation and collectibles and all kinds of goofy places. So
yeah, keep us
I've got a weird skill set, is what that means. It means I have no personal life and I have a weird skill set.
Welcome to the crew.
Yeah,
I don't think
that
any artist
seems
has
to
a
be an
personal-
ongoing theme, you know? It's like we're all just fucking dorks that just love the shit and do the shit, and that's pretty much where life goes. But
Yeah.
I'm really really looking forward to Brides. I think this is going to do well. And if you got time here, let me grab a link to the pre-launch page. Toss this in here, so if anybody's around, we can should I put this in the comments. I don't know. See, I'm still kind of weirdly awkward when it comes to all the streaming stuff. And
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'll put it here in the private chat, and then in the comments is the link to the pre-launch for Brides. It's all grayed out over in the comments, so I don't know if somebody needs to okay it or something or what.
I don't. Does anyone know how to? Someone tell me how to do this. How do I give somebody a wrench? Jim, do you know?
No idea.
No clue.
All right.
I think it's done through YouTube.
Is it?
Not through StreamYard, yeah.
Oh God! If I go over there, I'm gonna mess everything up.
Let's see here. I have no idea. There's like stuff that I know how to do when it's the show that I do for Pops, but I don't know outside of that. Let's see. I was gonna maybe do stop that.
Hold on a second. Let me see something.
At the very least, maybe I can do. Here, I'll do the tab that is on.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
There you go. So there, at least you can see the tab. Yeah. So if you go to Kickstarter and you search under comics for Brides, then you'll see it come up in there.
I tried to put the link into the chat, but I think you have to do that.
Yeah. Listen, I promise by next week I'll have learned all this stuff.
I think if you go into the private chat and then if you just copy and then paste it into the regular comments, you should be able to do it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So
Yeah, hold on.
private chat, you right click it and it'll say copy link address. Click that and then go to comments and then just hit Control V on your.
Is it in there?
Yep, you did it.
Yay!
Hey, look at that! Learn something new every day.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this looks really good, Les. This is amazing artwork, insane detail, and I for one am probably going to back this because it looks so cool.
Yeah, I definitely just signed up for the pre-launch. So
yeah, I'm going to do that as soon as I can.
I would love to see a black and white version.
We're
Hard
actually
covered.
talking about
Cool.
talking about offering 3 different versions of the book. One that is full color, one that is ink wash, and one that is just line work.
Well, if you do a version with just line work and you have line work for these covers as well, I would put it all together because this is insane.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I would back that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if you have a hard-covered version, I'd love to see that. I love hard-covered black and white books.
Yeah.
It's like
I would be tempted to actually take my paintings and toss them into a layer in Clip Studio and ink over them, and then drop the colors out and have ink versions of them.
Also, you've done so many covers here that are all amazing. Like a mini print set as an add-on would be a good idea.
Oh, that'd be cool too. Yeah, absolutely.
We were talking about
an 11 by 17 book.
There's
those
actually
17s are hard to ship.
Yeah, they are.
If you did like a small set, like a freaking 5x7 size would be amazing.
There's about 10 other paintings that I did just building up to it that I'm not even showing anywhere yet. And we were talking about down the road, maybe doing an art book or something that collects a bunch of these things together. Because the story of Brides is the initial script was written as 40 pages, but I think I'm going to add a couple. Some of those are growing into 2-page spreads. And, but it's the first book, like you could go one and done with the first book, but there's 2 other books to go.
I gotcha.
So it's got a story arc to it that I don't want to give too much away, but one of the big things in the backstory is that Dr. Frankenstein and Dr. Van Helsing were best friends at the university together, roommates, until Frankenstein started his experiments. And there's a whole pile of stuff that comes out of that. There's a whole big thing about the bride of Frankenstein's name is Eva, and the deal with her ends up being, it's like, if you took one of these, because I explore in the writing what one of these Frankenstein creatures is. And there's a term that Van Helsing uses for him. He calls them the Homo moribundus. And there's like all kinds of stuff I have written for those. Like it's wacky. When I first talked to them about doing this, I had already written about a 20,000 word story Bible for it. So there's a world written to this that goes through these 3 books. Then there's plots worked out for doing one-shots of all of Dracula's brides to give them standalone stories. Then there's plots worked out for Van Helsing and Frankenstein together. It's something that the initial idea hit, and I wrote the first script. And after I wrote the first script, I couldn't stop. I just kept writing, and this whole giant thing spilled out like that. It gets into some vampire like Vampire Society, and I have the Vampire Society that you brush up against in the first book is loosely based on the Tsarist, the courts of Tsarist Russia.
All right.
It's a thick story. It's weirdly thick. I didn't mean for it to do that, but it just literally, I don't know. I had done it all started on the stream that I do for Pops. I literally was like 5 minutes to stream time one day, and I was like, shit, the fuck am I going to draw on this damn stream today? Shit. Let's draw the fucking Bride of Frankenstein. So I just started doodling at it. You can go back and you'll find in the draw streams or in those streams where the first time, and the first drawing I did is what became that painting of her where it's all blue and she's bent over the table.
Yeah,
that was the first drawing that I did. And I did that live on Pops' thing, and I like the original painting for this. Her face has been altered because the original painting, I liked the face, but it needed to be. I wanted to change the face to a more marketable look than what my original one had. So I've altered that anyway. So it looks a little different than what it did on the stream, but it's definitely the same thing. And yeah, that took off on that stream. And then after the stream was over, I just kept working on it. And then like the next week we came back and I was like, oh yeah, guys, here you go. And it had turned into this painting. And then it was in the meantime of those things that I just couldn't get out of my head. And so I would like, I can't type anymore because of my left hand being paralyzed. So what I do, I'll be drawing, but while I'm drawing, I'll be voice typing. So I'm like writing while I draw.
Oh, that's
wow.
a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there with my hands going on my tablet drawing, or over here on my drafting board drawing, but the mic is picking up my voice, and I'll just be talking and writing via my voice, and then I'll go back through and clean all that up and make sense of it, and then that becomes the thing. So it's a weird way that I work.
But that's what I've noticed too. Artists that create their own projects and do the writing themselves, like I've been doing with my book. I thought I was doing it all wrong because what I do is I draw the layouts. I let my mind is thinking of the scenario, so I just draw it with no dialogue, no prompts, no story written. And then what I do is I go back once everything's illustrated and I put the dialogue in. And I was like, this seems like a weird way to do it, but I've noticed over the years more and more people say they do it the same way.
Yep.
When I was doing my previous book, Apocalypse Girl, that's how I did a lot of that in the beginning. Like I did the first probably 20 pages of Apocalypse Girl that way, and was very fluid and kind of stream of consciousness. But I'm probably stupid for saying this, but I personally, I have more confidence in myself as a writer than I do as an artist.
Right.
So, and I actually think I put more work, I put more brain work into writing than I do into drawing.
Right.
Like, because with drawing, to me, a lot of it is very much practice and repetition. And I've been doing it for so long now. There's a lot of things with it. It's just like, I just zone out. And I'm just not even there when I'm doing it.
Yep.
It's down to muscle memory. But when it comes to writing the stories, my brain has to be fully present for that. And I put a lot of work into that. I mean, creating Apocalypse Girl was a 150-page book.
Wow.
So, that was...
Well, Les, this looks really amazing, dude. I can't wait to see it finished.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like about people that do their own projects and crowdfund is a lot of times, especially if they're artists, what you see on the outside of the book, you see on the inside, and that's good because I've been disappointed by Marvel and DC so many times. They have nice covers, and then you go inside and it's like a 3-year-old drew it. And,
Oh yeah.
So this is really good. This looks good inside and out. So.
I don't know. We might have some guest covers here and there pop up, just because I know because Mike and Mindy have got a lot of friends, and there'll probably be a guest cover or two from some different folks. But like, I've had arguments with publishers I've worked with about this. I'm like, they're like, who would you like to do the cover to your book? I'm like, well, I would, you dumbass. My book.
Yeah.
I was like,
really?
Do the fucking cover.
The only thing I'll say is because your artwork is so good, these covers are amazing. The interiors look great. If you go with a guest artist or variant covers, use real artists. Don't fall into the AI thing because your work and your book doesn't need it.
Well, if we do any guest artists, I want it to be people who have styles that are just wildly hell and gone from what I do.
Right.
Like some of the other artists that I know Mike likes to work with have a cartoonier style. Some of them have more of a J. Scott Campbell type style. And I think it would be fun for me. It would be fun for me just to see my characters through those lenses,
Right.
That's kind of a neat thing. But that's
Well, I think it looks really good. I'm gonna check it out.
I signed up.
Thank you, man.
So, all right. So I'm gonna go around the room real quick and get this thing wrapping up. So, Les, this looks amazing. Everybody, go back, brides. sign up now. Jim, anything?
No, I'm just working on SpongeBob SquarePants 25th anniversary cards for Tops.
Nice.
So yeah,
that's
I'm
cool.
drawing like cartoon characters over here. Other than that, you can find my artwork at JimO'ReillyArt.com.
All right,
Some-
cool. And
I, by the way, I love the character in your avatar here, dude.
Oh, yeah, me too. It's
The guy with
that's really cool.
The guy with the dreads.
yeah, Mojo Rising. Yeah, long, complicated story. I won't get into it.
It's very nice, though.
Thank you.
Like that whole thing there of him with the. I love like Louisiana voodoo shit. And
Yep.
the-
Yeah, me
the
too.
look of the
I fell in love with that character. So.
Guys, I got the link to my website is in the chat there. Go over there, sign up for free, and check out all my social media links are there, and also any current campaigns that are running. I think there's still one running over at Fund My Comic for the issue 1 of Addicts Unbound Fury, so go check that out. You can still get a copy, and keep an eye out for the next book, which will be the campaign should be running by the end of this month with a little luck. I'm still waiting on books to come in so I can fulfill the last campaign. And that brings us to Q. Q, you still there?
Yeah, still here.
All right, go ahead.
You can always find us here in Madness Comic Network on all the platforms you can think of. Peace. So long, everybody.
All right, everybody. It's been fun. And I'll see you again next week. And maybe I'll have some videos and intros up. Got a lot of learning to do this week. But have a good one and enjoy.
Later, y'all.
All right, bye.
Later.